And the bad news is, Doncaster, bare knuckle sensation, Brett the Machine May. Shut up, Winston. Brett the Blind, Bretimus Maximus Morelius Maius, national hero, the hardest man in Doncaster, with Dave Allen being second, has been remanded. Again, because he was in court pleading guilty or not guilty until his next court hearing, which is the 30th of March 2026. And he's in there on blackmail charges, as we've previously talked about, previously seen. But there's obviously, it's making me scratch my head, because we've had all these videos that have been leaked of Brett May screaming into the camera, rah, rah. You know, he does his screaming, I'm coming for you, I'm going to cut your head off and da 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 da. We're going to fucking do this to your dad and do this to your mum. And then some lady, which I don't know who it was at the end, maybe his mother, maybe his nana, maybe a girlfriend, I don't know, going, that's enough now, Brett. Charming. And then we've got the voice, the voicemail off of Snapchat. What's it called? The voice message off of Snapchat. And he's just like, he's been quite nice about it, to be fair. He's saying, right, so you owe us £1,000, mate, and if you don't pay it, I've called it off for tonight. We need it tomorrow. If you don't pay it, we're going to cut your dad, and it's going to go up to £2,000, and then etc. etc. And then at the end of the message, he says, anyway, no need to reply to this, mate. Take care. Which one is it? He's screaming and shouting, or? But this must have gone on for quite some time. There can't have just been the two videos. But what the question is, how is he going not guilty? If this is what he's been charged for, and by description, this is blackmail. He is blackmailing someone in these videos, and he's been arrested for blackmail in the Selby area by North Yorkshire Police, which is apparently where this lad comes from. Like, how? How have you got not guilty for this? I think maybe he's hoping that that he can just drag the case out for as long as possible, and whoever's charging him doesn't turn up. I don't know whether this is a matter where the police can sort of intervene and just pursue it anyway. Sorry, I've got drama. If you've seen my knuckles and you're thinking, what the fuck's that? Because I've had a couple of funny looks about it. I coached a class yesterday morning, and there was a little lad there and he didn't have a partner. So I said, it was 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off, hitting the bag. So I didn't have my gloves on. I wasn't warmed up. I was coaching. I went, don't worry, Joe, I'll go with you. Held the bag for him. And then the bell went for like the partners go, and he sort of looked at me as if, are you going to do it? And I was just like, oh, fuck it, I better do it then. Bah, 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 bah. And I didn't notice until the third round when I started seeing knuckle splatterings of blood appearing on the bag that obviously I should have probably worn my gloves. And I know this because I've done this so long that these are the results, but you don't really think about this. Anyway, back to Brett the Blind. How is he going not guilty for this shit? Like, I don't understand. Is he just trying to drag this case out as long as possible, hoping that the witness won't turn up? It's the 30th of March 2026. Or is it another separate case? Was he doing this to a load of people? Because like I've said before, like if you watch his Terry Stone podcast back, he's talking about how he cuts about taxing dealers and this and that, and he knocks on your door and says, you owe me 10 grand, you owe me 50 grand, you owe me this, you owe me that. And they grassed him up to the police. This investigation had been going on for a while, clearly, as you could see from the videos where he's looking at his feet, looking at the steering wheel in a dark room, just showing this much for his face. Talking about fighting the shadow boxer. So what is it? But yeah, with this evidence against him, which is video evidence, I suppose, can you use because the voice messages were sent off his phones. I was going to say, you can't use just voice recordings, but it's sent off his phone, so they're obviously going to have the phone, aren't they? So you've got voice recordings of him and evidence that it was him that sent it, and videos of him sending it. So how in the fucking world can he go not guilty? Unless he just says, oh, I'm an online personality, I play a character of like a gangster, and these are things for my YouTube, maybe. Is that, but the thing is, people were saying he's looking at like 10 years and stuff like that. I don't think he'd get that long. He probably was causing a lot of mischief off of YouTube that we didn't see, with all fighting and fucking people ramming each other and houses getting reversed into, which was true, and all this sort of shit. So they probably just wanted an excuse to lock him up for a little while. He was obviously on a fucking downward spiral, because when he first come out of jail, he didn't seem to be drinking very much, like last year. I think it was the middle of last year. And by this point now, just before he went to prison, he was just out of his fucking box all the time, just screaming and shouting incoherent bullshit and just being an absolute nuisance. So maybe they just thought, mate, get him off the streets for a while. But I can't see him getting a long stretch like that. I think he'll probably get a couple of years for it. I don't know what sort of tariff it holds. Although this will be like a very serious version of it. But he didn't actually get any money off. If it is this kid that we're talking about, he didn't actually get any money off him. So who knows? Maybe it'll be more so if he did get some money off him. Maybe this will go in evidence against him. But I don't actually know. So yeah, we were without Brett May till the 30th of March 2026. And I've got to say, he is missed. He is missed. He does keep things interesting. He does keep things exciting. And if he is doing stuff like this off, obviously I don't promote it. I think he's an arsehole and for doing it. Absolute scumbag, of course. But his character online, you can't argue with, is comedy gold. Anyways, boys, thanks for watching. Just a short one today. Adios. Subscribe if you got this far. La bosh.